Hello everybody, my name is Star Raptor and welcome to my spoiler-free review for Avengers Endgame. That's right, it is spoiler-free, so feel safe to watch this movie. I will not be giving away any hints of anything that is happening in this awesome movie, but I do have to talk about the spoilers in Infinity War because that is the lead up to this film. That is where we know what is happening with our core Avengers, right? Because Thanos has gotten all of the Infinity Gems and he has snapped his fingers and wiped out 50% of the universe's population. So with that, they are trying to figure out a way to undo all that to get all their people back. Because this movie, wow, it starts off with just a very somber kind of start where we are just pretty much going into each of our main characters. Cap, we get a little bit of Hawkeye, we get Bruce, we get Thor, all these characters and how they have been dealing with the sudden loss of all these people all of a sudden. Some of them have been very fortunate as far as the probability of having certain family members survive, whereas others have lost pretty much everybody. So I thought it was a really great way to open this up with just figuring out why they are doing what they are doing, what they have been up to, all of those very important features for each one of these individual characters. And my emotions through this movie were all over the place. And that's a good thing, right? Because in a movie, you want to have all those ebb and flows of where you're going as far as the twists and turns. And I have moments of triumph where I was just cheering along with the rest of the crowd, and moments of just absolute sorrow for certain circumstances, and other moments where I was laughing my ass off. It was just some great humor in this movie, and that's what was so great about it, is it just really goes all over the place as far as that is concerned. I love how each one of these characters gets their time to shine, their spotlight, so to speak, too, because there's lots of characters, as you can imagine, in this movie. So to have all these characters that we have spent like 10 years with and still to have their arcs, carry through in this film is something spectacular and something that takes a lot of coordination and a lot of planning that's beyond my imagination to kind of figure out how to work. I thought the incredible action in this was just something of a standout. It just goes to show that's why we're watching these movies. I think most of us is just for the action set pieces, and this movie just goes leaps and bounds above what they have done in the past. To just put it right out there real quick. Just certain characters, as somebody that likes playing a lot of video games, having these fantasies of, different team fights and coordinating with other team members to kind of bounce off some synergy with their moves and stuff like that. There's a lot of this in this movie, a lot of team ups that you didn't expect that, maybe you're thinking about in your imagination that actually come to fruition. That's the thing with this movie, is there's a lot of fan service. I think they do a pretty good job with it. There is such thing as fan service that this has gone too far, but I think they're kind of skirting the lines with this one. At some points I was like, yeah, that's kind of something that I thought about that they put in here, which a lot of other fans were thinking about. So lots of moments like that, but then just lots of nostalgia for sure. This is a nostalgia trip for a lot of reasons. We're seeing these characters just coming full circle. We're seeing them reference lines of they have been saying since the beginning, and it just goes into my whole thing with how much closure this has for the characters, and how I felt very satisfied leaving the theater with, okay, I've seen, the arcs for a lot of these characters and seen the arcs for some of these characters come to a close. So to see them have enough time to develop these characters in their own singular movies and have them come together and still carry on those specific storylines is something that I thought was super cool. The only thing that I can think of that I didn't like about this movie is just its running length, and its duration was just really long, right? 3 hours. Now, there's been other movies that I've seen in the theaters, like The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. That's been 3 hours. This movie, it definitely felt at certain parts in the middle that I was, thinking like they could probably trim some of this. Again, this is like this is not the last Avengers movie, obviously, but this is the last big one that they're going to have for a while. So they wanted to go all out. I understand they wanted to fit in as much as they can. And with a cast of characters that is like so many dozens of characters, like it's a lot to fit in, so they had to kind of expand the story, but I do think they could have trimmed some of the scenes out that I thought weren't, that important. But other than that, this was a triumph for Marvel. This was them showing the world that, all these characters, all this synergy we've had between these characters and the coordination involved, collaboration involved with all the directors and writers, it comes to a head in this movie, and they just knock it out of the park. It's up there with Infinity War, and I'm giving this a score of a 9.5 out of 10. I will talk a little bit about my viewing experience, by the way, which was awesome. One of the best viewing experiences I've had in a theater in a long time. In this movie, I seen it on opening day on Thursday, and the parking lot was almost completely full. It took me like 5 minutes to get to the theater from where I parked. This hasn't been this busy since The Force Awakens, and this movie is going to rake in tons of cash. And even in the previews, the Rise of Skywalker trailer played, and everybody was just cheering for that. So I knew right from the get-go that the crowd I was watching this with was going to be pretty awesome. And there is nothing like that experience of seeing a movie on opening day with all of the hardcore fans, and everybody's just cheering at moments. Everybody's gasping at these very surprising twist moments. So it's overall just very fun to be in an environment, and I was very happy to have seen it at my local AMC. So what do you guys have to say about Avengers Endgame? Please do not post spoilers in the comment section below. Please refrain from doing any kind of spoilers. We want to have as many people enjoy the many twists and surprises in this long coming film. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I have plenty of other content that revolves around comic book movies on the channel right now. Go check out those previous movie reviews, but I also do talk a lot about Star Wars. So if any of that sounds interesting to you guys, you can simply support the channel just by subscribing. That is going to do it for me, Star Raptor. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at StarRaptor.